phrase sounds like this. If that's the phrase, you want to know how slow I play it? I play it here. Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson. My name is Quincy Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in, especially if you're new. If you're new, let me know. Say hi to me in the comments. I always read and respond to all the commenters, even the haters. Yes, even the haters. And of course, if you enjoy this, press that like button, and I would really, really love it if you subscribed. So I am going to be talking about drum solos and specifically how to learn them, and more specifically, how I learn drum solos. So if you're ready, let's go. All right, so should you learn drum solos? Should you transcribe? And I think you know what my answer is going to be. It's a heck yeah, you should. But there's a caveat. You shouldn't go crazy with them. I know some drummers and some students who are really proud. They have a 4-month vacation, summer vacation, and their goal is to learn, 5 different solos from 5 different drummers, or even 5 solos from the same drummer. And that's just way too many to really glean and get the most out of each solo. So if I have a 3 or 4 month span where I'm not going to be busy and I'm going to focus on learning and trying to level up my language, my solo language, I'm going to take one solo and hone it, drill it, learn it backwards and forwards, and also create vocabulary out of that solo. I think a lot of you know that I have some really useful vocabulary ebooks. I have 2 volumes of a drum solo vocabulary ebook that you should definitely check out. And that's essentially all of my favorite ideas, phrases, and licks that I've compiled and put in. At this moment, it's 2 volumes, but I think it's going to eventually get to volume 3 and volume 4, and who knows how many I'll have. But the point is that if you learn a solo, definitely create vocabulary out of that solo, okay, of all your favorite licks and phrases out of that solo, so you can really focus on what you really, really like about the solo. But before that, learning the whole solo, you're going to learn development, motivic development. You're going to learn phrasing, right? You're going to learn how that drummer plays over said form. You're going to learn so much dynamic contrast, dynamic contour, all kinds of, not to mention just the vocabulary that you're going to get from it. So I want to talk to you about exactly how I personally learn drum solos, okay? So recently I posted a video of myself. It was about 10 years ago where I had, just like I was speaking about, I had about 2 or 3 months where I wasn't that busy. And I said, what can I get into? What kind of big project can I give myself? And my big project was learning Max Roach's solo, or his dedication to Sid Catlett, the drum solo called For Big Sid. So I took those 3 months and learned that solo. And let me tell you something. That was not easy. It was not easy. And could I play it right now? I can't. It's gone, but I can play a lot of that vocabulary, and I'll get to that in a second. So my process in learning in learning drum solos. The first thing, number 1, you got to like it. You got to choose a solo that you like, because if you don't like it, then you're not going to be or stay motivated to learn it. So learn and choose a solo that you like from a drummer that you admire and you want to get some of their language in your playing. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is listen to it a lot, even before you even attempt to start to play it. Just get it in your ears. Okay, that's number 2. And then number 3 is actually, and this is me again. Everyone's going to be different. For me, I like to write my solos down. I write it down, and what I do is I write down an approximation of what the drummer plays. Sometimes it's hard to get an exact kind of transcription of what the drummer plays, because it might be some sticking, some weird sticking, or something that you can't really write down. So I write it as close as I can to what I hear, right? But So I'll write the whole solo out and I'm reading it. However, I never at any point play through the solo reading it. I want to say that again. I will never sit down once I have it and just read through the whole solo just to read it. I will never do that. From get-go, from when I start to play on the drums, play the solo on the drums, I'm striving to what? Memorize it. Memorize it. Memorize your solos. If you don't memorize them, then you're not internalizing them. If you're not internalizing them, then you're not going to be able to use it, and it's not going to actually become a part of who you are as a being. That's essentially what you want to do. You want this vocabulary to go so deep in your soul, and you're playing that it's just a part of your own self. So you have to absolutely memorize it, okay? That's why it's really important also not to choose a solo that is too big or too long or too difficult, all right? Stay in your lane, be practical. Don't try to impress anybody by learning the hardest Elvin Jones or Jack DeJohnette or Max Roach or Buddy Rich solo, because it's only going to just kind of waste your time eventually if you're not able to memorize it, okay? So I write it down, and what I do is take it bar by bar. As my teacher, one of my teachers, Kenny Washington, would say, bar by bar. You got to learn the solo or learn the rudimental solo in the case of studying with him, bar by bar. So I will learn one measure. Okay, I got that measure. Then I would learn the next measure. Okay, I got that. And I would combine those two, right? I combine those two measures. Boom, and play it a bunch of times. Boom. And I also, I close my eyes when I'm memorizing. I try to visualize it on the paper. Okay, that's also very important to me. Then I learn the next bar, and then I learn the next bar. So that's 4 measures. And usually, most solos are played in 4-measure phrases. Sometimes you have the odd 5-measure phrase or 7-measure phrase or something. 4 measures, 8 measures, 16 measures. Those are the general common phrase lengths in jazz, right? So at those landmarks of phrase lengths, I will test myself. So at the 4-measure phrase mark, I'll sit there and play those 4 measures over and 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 over. Then I'll combine the first 4 measures with the second 4 measures. Often the hardest part of learning a solo are the transitions. So you might get the first 4 measures, but then you can't remember what the next part is, right? So really pay attention at those junctures, and it's going to help smooth out the whole learning process of learning a solo, okay? And I'll go through the whole thing like this. Again, I'm reading it, but as I'm reading it, I'm memorizing it. And as I'm memorizing it, I'm what? I'm internalizing it. Okay. Then I do the whole solo like that. Boom. And I take my time. There's no rush. I'm not in a rush. It can't be a rush if you want to internalize it. So you have to repeat and 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 try to memorize it deeper and deeper each time. And furthermore, you have to play it slowly. Hello? I'm going to say it again. You got to play it slowly. Okay? So if the phrase sounds like this, if that's the phrase, you want to know how slow I play it? I play it here. That's how slow I play it. And I try to retain or capture the feeling and the sound and the overall energy of the solo, even at the slow tempo that I practice it at. Because you're not only learning the notes, but you're learning the feeling behind the notes. And if you practice everything except for the feeling, right, then when you actually go to play it at tempo, it's not going to be there. So you have to practice playing the notes with the feeling. That's the key. That's why when you hear some of the solos I've put up on YouTube, they're pretty close to the original as far as the feeling and the sound. It's because I'm really concentrating on that. I also want to say, so that's how I learned the whole solo. I need to also say, because I write it down, I don't, a lot of times drummers will limit what they play or what they can play to how they can write it. And there's some things that you cannot write. There's some things that you just cannot write down. And you have to just kind of translate what you see on the page to the drums and to the sound that you hear. This way, you're really using your ears and really trying to match the sound, the feeling, the energy, and the overall intensity of the solo. Okay, that is very, very, very important. Pay attention to the details, the subtle details that are easy to miss, especially when you're not paying attention to them. So pay attention to them, and then it'll start to come out in your playing when you actually go to play. Okay, so that's my process. There's no secret, there's no trick, there's no shortcut to learning solos. You got to go through the whole process. But if you practice smart, like I always say at the end of all my videos, you got to practice them smart. It'll be easier than if you try to rush through it, missing all the details. Okay. The last step, well, maybe not the last step, but the second to last step is I create vocabulary of different phrases from the solo. Okay. And the reason is because what's the reason why we're learning these solos? It's so that we can get some of this language, some of this cool language that we're transcribing. If we're not striving to get some of that in our own playing, what's the point? It's just homework, it's just busy work. And I don't think any of us just want to transcribe a hard solo and not get anything out of it. So to assure I get something out of it, I write down different phrases, maybe 4 or 8 maybe like 4 or 5, 6, 7 or 8 phrases. And I drill that vocabulary, right? I drill that vocabulary in different ways, just like the vocabulary that I've created for you and the vocabulary of my favorite licks from all different solos. I create vocabulary from a specific solo, and then I drill that language. Drill it, drill it, drill it, drill it. Trading, combining it, all kinds of different things. And then also what I'm doing while in this period of learning the solo, I'm learning it. Once I learn the whole solo, I treat it as my warm up. Every day before I start to play anything, I play the solo. And that way it becomes kind of second nature, right? I just kind of get used to playing it. And that's ultimately how I learn solos. That's my whole process. And again, everyone's process is going to be different. As long as you have a process, then it's going to work for you. And as long as you're true to that and you're taking your time, you can't rush any process, you can't rush it. So make sure you're taking your time, you're being patient, you're paying attention to details, you're trying to internalize it. You're not just playing it from the paper, right? You're learning it, you're memorizing it, you're internalizing it, and ultimately you're using that language in your own playing. And that's it, okay? And then once you do all that, after a few months of doing that, right, you get deep into it, move on. Move on and learn another solo or learn some other language and that's the other thing. You don't always have to learn full-length solos. Maybe you just like the trading on like a couple trades that Philly Joe plays on this or Mel Lewis plays on this. Or maybe you just want to transcribe 2 measures of something that you heard Tony Williams do. And that's also totally cool. Creating what? Your own vocabulary, right? Again, I keep on mentioning it. And it sounds it sounds like I'm pushing it, trying to get you to, but I would like you to check it out because I think it's helpful. But I'm also mentioning it because I truly learn and kind of gain new vocabulary and language from creating my own vocabulary, list of vocabulary ideas and phrases and licks. So I encourage you to do that, whether it's from a full length solo you've transcribed, or just here and there, picking and choosing, kind of like little appetizer dishes. And you're creating a whole list of appetizers, of all your favorite appetizers. Imagine that. You sit down, you have all your favorite appetizers. That's kind of what it's like to create a list of vocabulary that you've created, right? Not just me, but you've created. So, all right. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some ideas. I hope that inspires you, motivates you. And yeah, learn some solos, get some language, pay attention to details, have fun with it, and ultimately forget it and trust that it's going to be there. If you've gone through the right process, it's going to be a part of you and it's going to come out eventually. You can't force it, but eventually it will come out in your playing. Okay? So that's it. That's the lesson on how I learned drum solos. Tell me in the comments down below how you learn drum solos. I'm very curious. So until the next time, though, you know what to do. Practice hard, but practice smart. All right? Take care. Bye bye.